Artistic Director of the Pasadena Vocal Competition. And let's introduce our singers. We have Sunwoo Park, soprano, Catherine San Martin, soprano, Aaron Alford, mezzo, and Anastasia Maliaris, soprano, and Arnold Geis, the token tenor. And I want to introduce our artistic advisor, Jamie Chamberlain, who's also a soprano.
Fancy that! Well, everyone, thank you guys, and thank you everyone for being here. And we also have a few more seats available over here if you want to be more involved in the action, including this comfy, wonderful couch. Exactly. Thank you all for attending today to support us in our mission of financially supporting young opera singers as they make their way through this incredible career and art form. You know, opera training is something that is ongoing in the life of a singer. And you never really kind of step out of school and just find yourself being ready right away. There's ongoing support that we need to have, and we also need to continue to invest in building our careers and having our careers grow. And I can say that for myself, when I had competition winnings and when I won grants from organizations, for me that was a way that I was able to keep going as a soprano in a very, very competitive field. So tell us a little bit about how much we're giving away this year.
Right. The Pasadena Vocal Competition will again give away over $25,000 to eight deserving finalists who will sing live and 6 career grant winners. Now, this funding of $25,000 comes from the Pasadena Area Opera Trust, and we are so grateful that they are gifting us this amount. In addition, though, to the $25,000, the Tony Gaudio Foundation of the Cinematic Arts gives the Audience Favorite Award, and that's a lot of fun. You've got to come and vote for your favorite singer. In addition to that, the Tony and Emmy award-winning actor, Mr. Courtney B. Vance, gives an award in his name, and we call it the Courtney B. Vance Chevalier Award. Now, the reason it's Chevalier is because at the time of Mozart, there was another composer, the Chevalier de Saint-Georges, George Boulogne was his name.
Joseph Boulogne.
Joseph Boulogne, that's right. And he lived in Paris. Napoleon was not a fan. And he wrote a lot of operas and violin concerti, chamber music, symphonies, but he has been historically underrepresented. And we celebrate a student singing one of his arias or any aria from a composer of the African diaspora. And we'll give that award away as well.
It's a very special award, and it allows an opportunity for singers and audiences alike to discover new repertoire that has actually been suppressed and underrepresented throughout time. So that's one thing that's really important to us. And as we know, our prize money does come from the Pasadena Area Opera Trust. I won an award about 20 years ago. So it is something that keeps singers going, and now with the PVC, we're continuing that legacy on. So in the United States, as opposed to in Europe, opera is funded by private donation only. In Europe, opera is a state-sponsored art form. And we have to actually continue to raise awareness. And I think that that's really the bottom line of what we're trying to do with PVC, is to raise awareness about opera as an art form. Who has heard about this quote that an actor named Timothée Chalamet said about opera recently? So let me tell you this, if you haven't heard about this. Just a couple of days ago, a quote went viral from Timothée Chalamet, who's the leading contender for an Oscar this year in the films. And he said, "Oh, I don't want to be involved in something like opera and ballet where people are, trying to keep this thing alive. Ha ha ha." And the classical community literally pounced on him like a den of vipers. I mean, so we have seen that this has gone viral amongst the classical community because we all here in this room, just by hearing the song we just heard, understand the amount of dedication and training that we need. So we have a goal this year. Our goal is to raise $20,000. We're already at $8,000. We're trying to raise another $12,000 to support this year's competition and beyond. You see the QR codes, you know where you can leave checks. We don't need to belabor that point, but it's just very important for us to show today the inspiration behind why we actually do this and why it's important to keep doing it. And it's important for our attention spans and our accepting of other cultures and our understanding of the way music plays a huge role in our lives.
Absolutely.
What else, my dear? Oh,
We're gonna get started with Arnold. Guys, tenor, the token tenor. Now, Arnold also was a winner of a Pasadena Area Opera Trust Award through the Pasadena Opera Guild. Could we remember what year that was?
I was thinking it was like 2015 or 16, so about 10 years ago.
Yeah. And you've gone on to an international career, a national career. You are co-founder of an opera company.
That's
Opera
right.
Laguna.
That's right.
And you're gonna sing a song for us.
That's
sing an
right.
aria for us.
So this next piece is Deines mein ganzes Herz, which translates to Yours is my entire heart. And it's really about that special someone who you just can't live without. This is from The Land of Smiles by Franz Lehmann.
Dein ist mein ganzes Herz, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume welkt, wenn sie nicht küsst, der Sonnenschein. Dein ist mein schönstes Lied, weil es allein aus der Liebe erblüht. O sag noch einmal mein einzig Lieb, o sag noch einmal mir, ich hab dich lieb. Wohin ich immer gehe, ich fühle deine Nähe. Ich möchte deinen Atem trinken und betend dir zu Füßen sinken. Dir allein, o wunderbar ist dein leuchtendes Haar. Traumschön und sehnsuchtsbar ist der strahlende Blick. Hör ich die Stimme klang, ist es so wie Musik. Dein ist mein ganzes Herz, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume welkt, wenn sie nicht küsst, der Sonnenschein. Dein ist mein schönstes Lied, weil es allein aus der Liebe erblüht. O sag noch einmal mein einzig Lieb, o sag noch einmal
like to welcome back our 2024 first prize winner, Erin Alford, who is appearing currently in Akhenaten at LA Opera, so you got a chance to see her in that.
Seid wir wären gut, ich sitz alles mit anderen Augen, die Tiefen des Daseins sind unermesslich. Mein lieber Freund, es gibt manches auf der Welt, das lässt sich nicht sagen. Die Dichter unterlegen ja recht gute Worte, recht gute. Jedoch Gott ist im Meer, als Freund. Die Welt ist heimlich und nicht fürchterlich, die Mutigen. Was ist denn Musik? Musik ist eine heilige Kunst, zu versammeln alle alten Verrat. Wie Cherubim einen strahlenden Thron, und darum ist sie die Heilige unter den
We at the Pasadena Vocal Competition have specific requirements for our finals. One is a foreign language aria of the singer's choice, but the second requirement is an aria in the original English language. So it can be a Handel from the Baroque era aria, but we want to also celebrate modern American opera, and British for that matter. Any modern opera written in the English language. And the next soprano we have, Catherine Saint-Martin. I have heard her sing at least 4 modern operas in English, and she is phenomenal. Her diction is great, she commands the stage, she is a brilliant artist, and she was an award winner last year for our competition. We gave her a career grant, and I am thrilled that she's singing an aria that has now really become part of the standard American rep. Blanche's aria from The Streetcar Named Desire, if you remember that book by Tennessee Williams. It's also an opera. Let's welcome Catherine Saint-Martin.
Who wants Don't turn on that light. Look so ugly in the light. I'm not safe by candlelight. They are bright enough to see sometimes.
So I know you'll recognize the next duet you're about to hear. I'm going to bring Erin and Sunwoo Park, who is a beautiful soprano, who is new to us this year, and she's actually applied to the competition, and we're announcing our finalists tomorrow, so who knows? And you are going to hear a melody that I know you've heard in commercials, in the ether, perhaps a British Airways commercial, and it's the story of the beautiful Lakme, who is a Hindu princess, and her lady's maid, Malika. And Lakme, of course, as many young women are in opera, she's despondent. She's upset about something, right? And her lady's maid is here to soothe her soul by speaking about the beauty of nature in the flower duet.
Sacré, qui coule et calme sombre
When I was 19 years old, I was a sophomore at the University of Southern California. And I was an accompanying major. Now it's called Keyboard Collaborative Arts, but at that time it was accompanying. And I had not yet decided, did I want to be an instrumental accompanist or did I want to be a vocal accompanist? So after my sophomore year, I found myself at a summer program in Austria. It was called the American Institute of Musical Studies, and it was an opera program. It was for opera singers to actually work on this in the summer and get jobs in Germany. This was back in the 80s. And there was also a leader program, which is the German word for song. And I fell in love with Schubert songs and Strauss songs. And somewhere towards the end of the summer, a lovely African-American soprano approached me. And she said, you know, I'm getting a doctoral degree in Georgia. And as part of my degree requirements, I need to do recitals. And she said, I'm going to go to that Krankenhaus up the street. And if you know German, Krankenhaus is the word for hospital. And she said, and I'm going to do a program of all spirituals, and I want to know if you want to play for me. And in my 19th year of life, I just looked at her, and I didn't really know spirituals. I said, yeah, I want to do that. And the last thing she said to me was, you know, they're not going to know every word I'm singing, but they're going to get it. And as I sat at that piano in the corridor of this hospital with patients on stretchers, patients in chairs holding their IV, patients who just looked like they didn't want to be there, the staff wheeled out an upright piano. I sat there at that piano and listened to the beautiful tone of this soprano and her emotional commitment and her style and her heritage. And I felt like I died and went to heaven. I, at that moment in that hospital, decided I want to work with singers. I don't want to play Hindemith sonatas for the rest of my life. I want to work with opera singers.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that, you know, times are tough, right? The world is kind of crazy. But one of the beautiful things about America is that we are all from somewhere, or our parents are from somewhere. And we don't need to be fluent in a foreign language to understand what a singer is singing about. Anastasia Maliaris is of Greek heritage. And I have asked her to sing a Greek folk song for us. She was a prize winner last year in our competition, and she's going to tell us all about it. Let's welcome Anastasia Maliaris.
Hello, everyone. Well, first of all, let's have a round of applause for Kathy. Not only is she the most incredible pianist, but she is such a champion for young opera singers, and we really couldn't do what we're able to do without her. I mean, and this competition. So thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Yeah.
So, aside from singing classical music, I also sing Greek folk music with a band, and we travel all over playing at festivals and weddings. So this song is called Zivaeri, which translates to my treasure. And it's a song about a mother letting her child go as her child leaves to go somewhere for a better life. So this is, oh, a cappella. I looked at you like, no, usually we're playing together, but no, this is a cappella. Αχ, η ξενίδια το χαίρετε, Zivaeri ήμου, το μοσχό λουλουδό σου, σιγανά, σιγανά, σιγανά και ταπεινά. Αχ, εγώ ήμουνα που το στείλα, Zivaeri ήμου. Με θέλει μάδικο μου, σιγανά, σιγανά, σιγανά πατώ στη γη. Αχ, Πανάθεμα σε ξενίδια, Zivaeri ήμου. Έσε και το καλό σου, σιγανά, σιγανά, σιγανά πατώ στη γη.
We are so lucky. Our next soprano, Sunwoo Park, had 2 other gig offers today, and she chose to come here and sing for us. So we are in a treat. Let's welcome her back.
I just don't know. There's a lot of events going on right now, a lot of fundraiser. But I was actually in Germany when she reached out to me about this event, and I was like, yeah, I mean, lovely casting, lovely place with wonderful pianists. So I committed to be here. This song is explaining about how spring swam through the dawn fog. So it's very poetic. I thought it would be a lovely timing to sing this song because spring is coming. There's a lot of flower blooming. It's very beautiful in California. If I think about spring, the image is very yellow. If you go to hiking around here, there's a lot of yellow flowers. I remember singing the song when I was in middle school in Korea for the first time with the orchestra. So this piece is very special to me. It kind of brings me back to my childhood. And I mean, oddly enough, back then I was wearing a yellow dress. So this song just gives me a lot of vibe of yellow flower, and I wish I could take you guys to lovely spring journey.
We're going to bring it back to the opera Carmen. And Erin's going to sing Carmen. And in this scene, we have Arnold playing Don José, the wayward soldier. And Carmen has just been arrested for causing a fight at the cigarette factory, the way girls do. And she put a little spell on Don José as she threw a flower to him. And it turned out that he gets assigned to kind of deal with putting her in the jail cell until they figure out what to do with her. And this scene kind of stems from that.
Una prison et je n'ai rien pu faire. Oh, rien, j'obéis à mes chefs.
Eh bien moi, je sais bien qu'en dépit de tes chefs eux-mêmes, tu feras
parle plus, je le défends.
decided to do a little Caro Nome tag team. So this is the famous aria Caro Nome from Verdi's wonderful opera Rigoletto. And because we have three distinctly beautiful sopranos today, this is really a love letter to the soprano voice, this aria. Truly it is. Maestro Verdi has given us a gift with this aria, and we are giving you a gift of hearing three beautiful sopranos that we are calling the Jilted Gildas to sing Caro Nome. And you might have noticed our wonderful dear Luciano Pavarotti, the greatest tenor of all time, watching over us this afternoon. So this, my dears, come along. This is going to be your inspiration for today's aria tag team.
Palpita
about how their careers are going and what it meant to them to win an award. And what are the expenses they have? Let's get started with Arnold. Arnold, you and I have known each other for a long time, right? It's been like 20 years, and we've gigged in San Luis Obispo, everywhere.
Yeah.
We just were on a show in San Diego.
That's right.
You won an award with the Pasadena Opera Guild back when? Do you
I think it was-
remember that?
Yeah,
What
I
was
think
that
it was
like for you?
2016, and yeah, I mean, at the time, you're auditioning, you're traveling for auditions. Those cost money. You're buying music, you're coaching, you're taking voice lessons. So, it's just a small, it's a great help,
Yeah.
to have projects like this, to be able to support the singers, to be able to get the things that they need, and even just like living expenses. Today, even just 10 years ago, things have almost doubled
Yeah.
in price,
Yeah.
from travel to food, and so it's more important than ever. It really helped a lot, and I was really happy to be a recipient. Yeah.
And you're still taking lessons now. The thing about being an opera singer is it's like tuning your car. You have to keep working.
I'm due for a lesson, actually.
And your career has spanned nationally and internationally. What do you have coming up? What's your-
The next thing coming up is actually this evening. If you guys want to go to the Opera Buffs concert, and so that's at the Sierra Madre Playhouse. Oriana's going to be singing with me a small opera in that. And then after that, I'll be doing a St. John Passion in La Jolla as a soloist, and for the La Jolla Symphony. And then after that, I'm doing a Carmina Burana in
Yeah.
Reno, and after that, I can't say that one yet. Vienna coming up for a new opera that I've been touring around called Emigre, and London with the same piece. And,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Of course.
Erin was our first prize winner in 2024. And tell us a little bit about what has happened since that win, because you've had a lot of developments.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say I think winning this competition has really changed the trajectory of my career in many ways. And I won $7,000 and I was handed a check that night. And that can be life-changing when it comes to the amount of expenses that singers have, and especially the ones that feel so necessary to develop in your career. So what that check allowed me to do was to take basically any and every audition, whether it was overseas, which it was very funny. The night after I won, I was obviously not expecting anything. I left that morning at like 4 a.m. for Germany. I was taking a 6-week audition tour. And on that audition tour, I got an agent over there. And just a lot of wonderful things happened. So that was just incredible. I was like, this is wild.
Wow.
This is just so timely and so perfect. And then also just being a prize winner in any way, shape, or form in any competition is very helpful in a career. So I had people from different companies emailing me saying, congrats, I just saw you won the Pasadena competition. Congratulations. Stuff like that. So just having that as well, that sort of...
And Delora being one of the judges.
Yes. And
that
Dolores
the year
Zajic
she
on
won,
my side was
right?
nice.
One of the most famous mezzos of all
Yeah.
time, Dolores Zajic, was one of our judges.
Mhm.
And for her to
Yeah.
grant the right...
Exactly. So
it's
just that,
meaningful.
but also I will say the funds are so incredibly helpful. I just filed my taxes for 2025. My expenses were about $22,000.
Yeah.
And that, was only a little bit less than I made as a singer last year.
You might, this is what happens.
It is.
You might get a gig, and then you have to provide
Prepare
your own
for it.
housing,
Well,
too,
and
where you go to get a gig. And you have to
Yes.
maintain your house wherever you live.
So, and one thing that's really kind of cruel in the opera world, I'll just be honest about it, is that recruiting is something that the burden is put on the person applying for the job, right? So this is one of the only industries where that is the case, right? If you're going for a corporate job, they're gonna fly you out to that interview if you don't live there, right? No, not in opera. So we put ourselves up. I'm very lucky. I have friends in New York. I can crash on their couch overnight when I have an audition.
But that's what we're doing. We're
But-
crashing on
Yeah,
couches.
exactly. We're crashing on couches.
That
We're
is
making
really
it
the
work.
real part of it.
Yeah, we're making it work,
Mhm.
and any assistance that people can provide young singers, especially for me, I've only repeated something in my career once, so I've only done one role twice, which means that every single role I've done, which I'm lucky I've done a few now,
Right.
but when you're working and you have a different gig every month, you're learning brand new music every single time you show up, which means you're probably coaching it with people, you're working with your teacher. You know, of course, as you get more stable in your vocal technique, you don't need to go every week, right? But I check in with my teacher. I actually just saw him last week for the first time in 5 months because I literally haven't been in town. So it's been nice being at home at LA. But yeah, I would like to
yeah.
say that, you know, winning this competition and getting those extra funds helped me do these auditions and really helped me land a principal role at my home company, which is LA Opera, which is very, very special to me. So if you can come to Akhenaten, get your tickets because they're like almost sold out. They actually are sold out for tomorrow's show, but
I just want to say, I remember you stating that, just like on a hike in Griffith Park, that you were looking to make a solo debut at LA Opera and you were going to make it happen, and she's making it right now.
Anastasia. It seems like we've known each
I
other
know,
forever,
forever,
right?
yes.
Now, you have won an award last year.
Yes.
Tell
I
us
won-
how that has helped you. And
So last year I won the 4th place award, and just to echo what Erin and Arnold said, the funds are so helpful for us as singers. Again, I was able to go to New York and do some auditions, had extra coachings. I just made my debut at Opera Santa Barbara as Cleopatra, and I was able to
Yeah.
coach the role. Yeah,
Now,
so-
I've seen you in a lot of performances around town, and we talk about, you know, the plight of the soprano and any female singer is you've got to go and buy a gown. And you don't want to be necessarily seen multiple times in the same gown, right? So we had a conversation about this. You are having a subscription to what?
Oh,
Is it
to run the runway.
Rent the runway. Well, but let's talk about it. I mean, you're saving money.
Yeah, because I rent all my gowns for concerts instead of buying a gown. Because
Yeah.
also storage space.
Yep.
I don't have anywhere to store the gowns. They're pretty annoying to store. And, you know, you want to have fun and express yourself through your gown. So I have the subscription.
Yeah, and I mean, how much is a gown if you get it on sale? It's
Oh my God.
At least $300
Yeah,
is the
at
cheapest
least,
one.
at
but
least.
but when you're a big diva, you want to have something really nice,
Yeah.
right? Now I just saw you in that Caesar and Cleopatra,
Yes.
and you were phenomenal.
Thank you.
What other things are coming up for you?
I am doing Carmina Burana in May with Modesto Symphony, and then next week I'm doing The Art of Fugue by Bach with a local concert series.
That is
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, we are so happy that you came and sang
Oh,
for us.
thank
The
you for having
Greek
me,
song was
Kathy.
absolutely
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Sunwoo, come talk to me. We're gonna get to know Sunwoo Park. Now, I know that last season you sang Susanna at Opera Santa Barbara.
That is correct.
Oh, so that's in Le Notte di Figaro, The Marriage of Figaro, which is one of the most famous Mozart operas of all time. And that is a very long role. It doesn't have a ton of high notes, but it's a very long role. So you're traveling to participate in another competition. She's actually catching a flight right after this to go to the East Coast to do an audition. Tell us about what doing competitions, doing auditions, learning roles. Tell us about like how that affects your real life, the expenses associated with it, and what the experience is like.
The experience is, I'm gonna say it again, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone who's playing a golf here in California. Maybe, no, yes. So I heard that golf, we're kind of like an athlete. Even though in your head, you've heard it so many times what you have to do. You know it in theory, but you just need to have a coach outside from you who could constantly say the same thing over and over until you're done with your career. So that's how I feel about it, and because this is our instrument, it's not just about taking lessons and all the coachings. That's lovely, but you also have to take care of it not to be sick. You have to work out. You have to be in fit. There's a lot of other expenses that you cannot think of.
And
that you
it's a
didn't imagine.
sacrifice too. It's actually like a sacrifice to the physical body, right? It's a devotion
Of course.
that is part of it.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
I currently teach, when I'm not in a gig, I teach in Diamond Bar High School. It's a public school and they have a big popularity of Asian students. There's a choir department and I always tell them that it's really important to take care of yourself. And you know, because they're choir kids, they come to me doing a lot of consultations like, hey, I really want to be an artist. Like I really want to do this major, and I tell them, you can do that later on, because I'm trying to be realistic to them. I give them the explanation how hard it could be as a singer to be on the road. You're constantly away from your home. For example, my parents are living in Korea. I see them once a year. So, you know, sometimes you even go to a place that they don't speak English at all. You just have to constantly work with their Google Translation. You're away from family, and on top of there's a lot of expenses that all the previous singers were talking about. So, yes, this kind of competition or foundations help a lot to singers, not just financially, but also for our physical health and mental health. So I just wanted to emphasize what singers were saying and what I was saying.
Thank you. It was such a treat to hear you in
Thank you so
person
much.
today.
Thank you for
And
having me.
we're delighted, and like safe travels tonight.
Catherine. Nice name. Now, I've heard you perform Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, and 3 or 4 modern operas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, too many.
Yeah. And you were a career grant recipient last year. Tell us about your journey. What's going on for you? How did this grant help you?
Yeah, well, every grant or donation or everything I receive does go into a fund for me, so it does go into a bank account. And this past season I did go on a lot of auditions, and I will be going to Chicago in a few months. I'll be going to Chicago, and I'll be doing my first musetta outside of university. And Rodolfo will actually be played by Jamie's husband, which will be super fun. Chicago fun times. So that's very exciting. I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Now, when you're studying all these modern
Yes.
operas,
Yeah.
it's got to take a lot of time.
Yes, it does.
And you've
Yes.
got to have lessons. You've got to
Mhm.
have coachings.
Lessons and coaching.
What is that process like for you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not always necessarily a recording
No.
that you can listen to. So you've really got to get with a pianist, your voice teacher. How are you going to save your voice for a long role?
Yeah, there is a lot of studying, and the academia behind it really, I do love. And I do love the studying behind modern operas, especially when the music is really different. I do love that process. Me and Jamie were actually talking about that a few days ago. And it does take a lot of work, and the coachings, it is an investment, but it is an investment in yourself and in your musicianship. And the time and the money that goes behind it is definitely worth it, because it definitely pushes you as an artist. And that artistry also influences your classical and not normal repertoire, but your traditional repertoire.
Right.
So it makes your Juliet better, it makes your musetta better, and it makes your, crazy Caro Nome better. Right? Right. So everything influences everything, and the competitions and the grants awarded, it really does make a difference, and it really helps.
Thank you for singing. Thank you for singing with us today. We wish you all the best.
The bottom line about Pasadena Vocal Competition is that we love singers.
Yeah.
And as a singer myself, I would not be here next to Kathy as her advisor unless I really believed in the ethics behind the way that we do this competition, and the fact that we are fair in our judging and our reviewing, which is a problem in the industry. So I want everyone to really know that there is an ethical standard that we're holding to. there's a creative standard and an artistic standard that we are really committed to, and we just couldn't do it without the singers and without all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.